Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, you have the top 3 center builds in NBA 2K26. I'm going to be having a couple of different play styles in mind for all 3 of these. Technically 4, I'm going to have an honorable mention right here that we'll talk about later in the video that I just wanted to fill some of my subscribers in on. But for the majority of the video that we're actually talking about, we have 2 park builds of the 6'8" kind of meta style, if you will, or it's fit more like stage, the comp 3s, stuff like that. Very agile popper build that can actually guard like in the pick and roll effectively, switch on screens, stuff like that, while still running center on offense. And then we have the 7'4" build of Doom, where like these things are just terrorizing the park, obviously, right? Now we have 2 versions of that because honestly, I don't think most of the 7'4s are very optimized for cap breakers, whereas like some of these builds right here are pretty optimized for cap breakers. So I wanted to show 2 different options of a long-term play and a short-term play, essentially. Then we have the footer that's built for like Pro-Am, Rec Center, 5v5, stuff like that. Then the honorable mention at the end of the video will be the 6'10" point center that I've recreated that, you know, is my main build that I'm using. However, I recreated with some shooting on it so that you guys can make a shooting version of it on day 1 if you'd like to. I actually am going to remake my build but with cap breakers in mind. So just understand that what I show you right here is not the exact way I'm going to rebuild mine. The way I'm going to rebuild mine will be in tomorrow's video. But I just wanted to put you guys on, for any new viewers or new people to 2K26, anything like that, to some different play styles essentially that you can get out of center, because I think you can go right with a lot of different center heights in this game. I think 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", they're all good. 6'11" is very good. 7 foot is good. There's been 7'1s that are good as well. 7'3" can even be what a 7'4" is essentially if you go big wingspan, but then just get 60 steal rating and now all of a sudden you have interceptor as opposed to a 7'4". Can't get that. And I don't know, man. There's a lot of different center heights that are working in this game, so I'm not here to say that what I show you in today's video is one glove fits all or anything like that. But what I am trying to do is at least show you multiple different play styles. So what I have been doing mostly is just going left to right, honestly, when it comes to actually showcasing the builds. But I do want to show you the 7-footer first, because I think this is by far the best build I'm going to show you guys in the video. I think this is nasty, like the best build I've shown so far. Now, I want to preface this with that, like the idea of cheesing the cap breakers, right? You're seeing the 49 3-pointer, you think, Laker, what in the heck is this? Why are you showing a build with 49 3-point? Why not just have either minimum or invest all the way into the 78? Thing is, we're going to invest into the 78. This is fine-tuned perfectly to where you cap break all the way to 78 3-pointer while still being an inside center in the meantime. So you're going to function as an inside big, like while you're grinding the build, grinding the cap breaker, stuff like that. Then when you eventually get the cap breakers, you're going to work in the shooting on the 3-pointer and stuff like that. Not to mention, you also have some cap break potential as well with the offensive rebound. But 94 is still good. It's like 92 is the gold chaser, 94 is the Hoff box out beast, and then you know, obviously still have like 91 strength as well for the gold brick wall. It's a good center build. It's going to work like day 1. Very solid. I mean, you got like bronze interceptor, silver paint patroller, silver post move lockdown. You got the ability to pass the ball if you're playing rec center, pro-am, you know, stuff like that, 5v5. Sleeper part of the build right here is 89 driving dunk for, as you can see, like, you know, gold area wizard, but also pro contacts off 1 and off 2. You get off 2 at 87 driving dunk and also posterizer on silver. Not to mention, the footers get posterizer in tier 2. So this is a really cool tier 2 badge that you can actually put on if you would like, as well as probably something like high flying denier is another great option as far as what you get out of that. If you would like, I would recommend personally, if it were me, like if I were making my exact build, I would want 78 driving lay for Sabonis or 76 for Bam, something like that for the floater. They're very dominant, and it would actually serve as some range for you in the meantime while you don't have any shooting on the build. Definitely check that out. Now, I was deciding to put a little bit of post control on this just because we're at 91 strength already, right? Which puts the post control to 61. If you go up 3 more, you get post powerhouse, which is technically for drop steps and backing people down aggressively with, like, you know, moving them. I'm not here to say that you're necessarily going to use the post a whole lot, but the fact that it's literally the cost of, like, I don't know, 1 pass accuracy and, as you can see, like 1 ball handle, I think that's worth, personally. If it's not for you, feel free to shave that off. I'm just showing you a couple of things that I decided to do with it. But anyway, even more so if you want to learn the fine-tuning of the build. 65 is good for some SIGs. You're going to eventually get Giannis crossover and stuff like that. It would have been nice to get the build 70, but you're just not able to do so on a footer. So a little bit ugly. If you wanted to go like 6'11 to do so, feel free to. You know, you can make a build very similar to this. But 55 speed of ball gives you Giannis dribble style. It's what I'm running on my point center. It's disgusting. It's got to be the best dribble style in the game. It's just that most people who get it are inherently slower. But I promise you, if you put Giannis dribble style on a small guard that had like 94 speed of ball and compared that to the dribble styles they're running with their build at 94 speed of ball, it'd probably be a freak show. It'd be insane. But yeah, it's restricted to bigger builds, so it looks like it's not as fast. But anyway, with this build, you have good rebounding on both sides of the court. You got the 88 D board, but 94 O board to just try and be a bit more of an optimized inside center for the time being. And just in general, I think offensive rebound's a little bit more important to have, if you ask me. But anyway, yeah, you'll cap break this to 99. You'll cap break your 3-point up, and that's about it as far as the cap breaker necessities, really. If you wanted to eventually do like +4 on your block, you could do that as well. Get the high flying denier on gold because you have the vertical to go with it as well. If we were to hover over this badge, as you can see, you need 80 vert and 88 block. You just so happen to have 80 vert, and you could get 88 block as well. So there's a lot of different options with this. Feel free to look into them, but I'm going to show you the cap breaks myself as well. So honestly, fellas, I'm not much of a 7-footer guy myself, let alone even like, especially like the super tall bigs like 7'4", stuff like that. But if I ever were to make a 7-footer, this would be it. This is exactly how I'd make the build, just with a little bit more driving lay for myself. Besides that, I mean, this is like gotta be one of the best center builds possible. If you want to go a little bit higher on the block and stuff like that, like I said, I mean, you can cap break that eventually too and just play for that maybe more long-term potential, if you ask me. But you definitely could, you know, change things about the build. If you're not a guy that wants driving contact dunks, feel free to. But I'm telling y'all, they're very powerful in this game, and you as a pick and roller, I want to take you into a world where if you're playing fives, right, and you get hit on a pick and roll, let's say this is more of a team program thing, because I don't know if this sets up so beautifully in rec where there's terrible spacing and like people willing to drop and like play painty and stuff so much. But in the pro-am, if you're on a pick and roll in a clean 4-out-1-in offense, and then the person rolling down off the corner on a rotate is coming at you while you're on the pick and roll, just imagine the ability to actually just meter dunk them. It's really important to be able to do driving contact dunks, if you ask me, and be able to kind of defy the rotations a little bit, in my opinion. But anyway, what also defies rotations is the ability to pop. Now, if you pull out the calculator, or if you're just good with quick math yourself, 49 plus 8 plus 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 is a total of 78, which with 78 gives us the silver set shot specialist, and that's exactly what a lot of the outside bigs are running this year. And I mean, man, after that alone, this build is insane, but it depends which way you want to go first with it, right? It's going to be 5 cap breaks you have to put in, and whether you want that to be an outside center earlier than later, and you can just rock out with a 94 offensive rebound for now, and you want to be a popper like as soon as possible, boom, put the 5 into this ASAP, and there you go. You're an outside big now with like still even solid rebound, and you can wait eventually to get that 99 O board. If you're someone that's fiending for that 99 O board and you're okay with playing as an inside for now and eventually want to put it off and just be an outside big later, you can put the cap breaks on that. But yeah, when I posted this video day 1 of like showing you guys that pure inside center could get 75 3-point, you could go from 25 3-pointer all the way to 40, all the way to 75. Now, a lot of people were then asking, after the crazy rebuttal that I got out of the community of how insane that is in the first place, but a lot of people were asking, is there any way you can get that to 78 so that you can get the silver set shot specialist, and it's just a lot more, optimized? So this is the way to do it right here. 49 3-pointer, and then boom, you get it all the way up to that. Once again, solid break starter passes with the 87 pass act, the Giannis dribble style with the 55, 65 ball handle being the best threshold we can reach for dribble moves, bronze interceptor. I mean, it's just a great build overall, fellas. It's so good and so optimized and fine-tuned and stuff like that. If you wanted to also, I guess technically you could just cap break 2 driving lay on this if you wanted to eventually add that floater to your bag and run the Sabonis or the Bam. Feel free to do that too. I mean, it actually works out pretty solid in that regard. I didn't even plan around that, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this could be one of the best center builds in the game, and I think easily could be something that people run in comp Pro-Am 5s. I think this should be a very desirable build in that regard. I think people should really not sleep on the driving meter dunk ability, the standing dunk, just the outlet throwing and stuff like that. This is a great build. Everything about it. So, anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I just want to show you guys that build because I think it's probably the best one that we have in the video. A lot of the other ones are a little bit more niche, whatever fits your style, stuff like that. I know a lot of y'all running center, though, really wanted something for rec, pro-am, stuff like that. Now, again, if you're someone that's interested as a park big, let's get to that. So this is the 6'8" park big right here. So this build starts with 75 driving dunk, but you'll eventually be able to cap break up to 87, which gives you the pro contacts off 2. You have the vertical to go with it that corresponds with that requirement. Now, this is going to be played around cap breakers a little bit, all right? Not every rating is perfectly optimized right now. We wanted the ability to somewhat throw outlets. If you're playing big man in park, you might want to throw to your people on the break a little bit, so it's at least somewhat important. And then we wanted to feature in a little bit more defensive rebound than O-board, because as a primary popper that's trying to hunt threes, whether it's for your guard getting threes off the screen or if it's you on pick and pops as well, when your team is putting too much attention on that guard, you're going to end up on the pop a whole lot more often. So specializing in something like defensive rebound rather is a bit more important and valuable, if you ask me. Now, if you wanted to get like a sharp takeover, you could easily put your mid-range to like, I don't know, 75, and then specialize in shooting, get like to 80 or something like that. Boom. Then you have your specialization, you have the sharp take, yada yada. I think running something more along the lines of Rim Guardian is probably the better way to go as far as your takeover. So just to show you that you can get that, as you can see, boom, there you go. You need 80 block and 80 interior, and we have that on the build. So definitely the takeover, in my opinion, that I would run if I were running something like this, and then probably just feature in some like 3-point boost and stuff like that. But yeah, solid interior, solid perim, solid steel block. Like, you're meant to be able to guard in the pick and roll against other meta style teams that want to run a guard lock center, stuff like that, but also still cover your tracks for like if some crazy off meta stuff comes up on the court on threes, like a stretch big or a ISO slasher point center, stuff like that, like I'd be doing or something, right? This build's still very good for defending both of those. It's not going to be great for guarding 7-4s because you just inherently don't have, like, you know, insane size and crazy perimeter D. It's still pretty good though. And what we're going to do is eventually cap break into the perimeter defense as well. It's just, you know, I would have gone like 85 perim and just got those badges, because as you can see, like 87 doesn't really get you anything other than off-ball pest on Hoff, which I don't really care about, to be honest with you. But going into 87 at least allows you that long-term potential of getting to 92, and I think that's a good play. Besides that, 85 steel, I think this is the sweet spot by far this year, and just gold interceptor, easy. Silver paint patroller, also good. We don't have enough vert for high flying denier on gold anyway, so don't really want to go up to 88 block. And then 92 D-board for the gold rebound chaser. Again, good play. If you want to cap break or specialize in rebounding instead, boom, there you go, 94 for that Hoff box out beast. And in this case, box out beast is actually a tier 2 badge as well. So yeah, overall, good speed, agility. The strength is also kind of a cap breaker play as well. Long story short, I'm telling y'all, I wanted to set up with some long-term play for the cap breakers. If you're someone that wants to focus on one thing over the other, feel free to, right? I think if you want to focus on the dunking ability and get contacts, boom, spend it there. If you want to focus on the strength and get your brick wall up, go there. If you want to focus on the perimdy and get your, you know, challenger and on-ball menace and stuff like that up, focus there. There's a lot of ways to go about this, and I'm trying to set you guys up with that potential demigod build right here that you will see with the cap breakers. Let's go ahead and show you that. All right, so here we are on the ball snatching lockdown bully. So 6'8" popper build in the, you know, comp 3v3 setting. So let's go ahead and just detail all of the things about the cap breakers like I had just been prefacing and kind of, you know, somewhat alluding to. So again, if you want to specialize in rebound, feel free to. If you want to specialize in shooting, also feel free to. Either of which way you go about it could also be, you know, utilized decently. I don't think it's really a big deal though, so if you wanted to specialize in rebounding, I'd probably prefer it. The shooting would only be really optimized if you went with, like, let's say something to do with like closer to the mid-range requirements and stuff like that. Get it to 73 mid instead, right? Then specialize in shooting, boom, get it to like 75. I would probably prefer to just specialize in rebounding so you don't have to spend the points of your actual cap breakers into the D-board, because there are going to be a lot of caps to spend on this build. So let's get into them. So the primary one that I want to talk about, as we already mentioned, was, you know, perimeter defense. Let's not talk about that anymore. That's 5 that you have to like plan on, right? Now, as far as the speed with ball, if you look at this again, this is 75 with 3 cap breakers. That's, you know, it could make you a little bit of a threat in the park. To be real with you, if a big man is guarding you, you might be able to just take him off the dribble, hit him with the Levine, hit a little cross launch, or hit a little dribble ball hand run. Nasty. I think that's definitely where you'd think to spend your cap breakers after, let's say, if you want to be a responsible person and, like, you know, get like your strength up to 91 and your prim D up to 92. Things after that would probably be speed with ball or driving dunk. So if you take all of these and put them together, the 5th one gives you 89 driving dunk, which if you were going to play for that, Probably plan the vertical around that a little bit more, but I'm gonna just set you guys up with +4 on the driving dunk to get you to 87 for the pro contacts off 2. I think that would be a really useful thing if you're talking comp 3v3 setting, in the same exact way that I was just telling you about that 7-footer having the 89 driving dunk, right? Where if you're in a clean pick and roll setting and you get hit on a slip, you want to be able to dunk on the help defender or even trailing defenders that might be in your proximity that you can still get a contact dunk on. Long story short, to be able to meter dunk on a pick and roll in this game, pretty useful, I must say. So 4 cap breaks right there would get you the contact dunks. Again, 3 right here gets you Zach LaVine dribble style. And then once again, 5 on either strength or perimeter defense is going to get you to your badge requirements in that regard too. So in the long-term play of cap breakers, you have a total of 10, 13, and then 17 right here. This is a build that you could play with all year. Just choose what you want to specialize in terms of like, you know, what you get out of it. If you want to focus on, you know, the fun things like the speed with ball driving dunk, that's cool too. If you want to focus on the responsible things of like perimeter and strength instead, that's cool too. Whatever you want to focus on first, you can just take one step at a time as the whole year goes on and stay on a build like this all year. If you really wanted to, this is a glue guy build for the whole year of 2K. And it could fit in as even more than just, you know, a park like meta big man. You could just play it as a lockdown as well. This is still very solid lockdown attributes right here that's switchable and like it's not amazing, but it's still like very respectable, you know? I mean, these are like doable stats and like a very good glue guy build, like I said. And it's not something you have to be worried about people judging your pass accuracy or anything like that either. So it's something that could probably fit in Pro-Am for that matter too, as like a back-end build. So I think this is definitely a solid build, respectable, and like I said, fits into a lot of different game modes in a lot of different ways and can be really good for a long time. So definitely look into that. I think that's a good cook right there at build. Feel free to let me know. If you guys think it sucks, feel free to say in the comments. But anyway, let's go to the build that actually sucks. The 7-4. Alright, so I'm a hater of these, and I had to put one in the video, and I wanted to optimize it as well as I possibly could. However, I think with a lot of these builds, it's hard to do so. So this one's the one that's set up for cap breakers. In the long-term play, it's just trying to, you know, like, I don't even know how to like preface this in this video to start with you guys if you don't already know what these are doing in the park. Long story short, man, they come out here 7'4", minimum wingspan, have 89 3-pointer for like the gold set shot specialist and the silver limitless range. They're shooting in people's face. They can't contest them because they're super tall and they have like crazy height on their jump shot even still added into that. It's tough to get contests on them. Add in the fact they get like decent ball handle, they get normal dribble style with 40 speed with ball. You'd be surprised how well they can even move with some of the best people in the game that are actually dribbling with them. Good outlet passes, once again, if you're trying to play like, you know, Pro-Am. I don't know if this fits the bill in Pro-Am quite as much. I feel like you'd probably want more rebound, but I don't know. I mean, whatever, bro. 85 D-board, these things are somewhat grabbing boards. They're not athletic, I will say that much. I mean, they get solid jump contests, though, because of their block rating being high. So I got to tell y'all, if you are playing any of these bigs, definitely wait out their jumps. I mean, these dudes are jumping at everything because it's the only way they can even get a contest because their perimeter is not that good. But yeah, in terms of enlightening you guys on how to get contests on this build, jump contests, like I said. It's not very good at getting like a hands-up contest on anybody as far as like the guards, but that's just this game at the end of the day too. But yeah, as far as the long-term cap breaks on this, I was thinking probably like 5 standing dunk and 5 mid-range. Probably the standing dunk first just to get like, you know, the elite contacts off one. You only need 70 vertical for this. I can actually, I believe, show you guys the animation glossary, and I can go to the dunks and then the big man elite contacts right here. Standing dunks, contact dunks. Boom, there you go. So 70 vertical and a 90 standing dunk. So there you go. If you cap break into that, you can achieve those ratings. Now I want to show you the one that has no cap breaks real quick, just to show you how like optimized the build could be, essentially. So this has 90 standing dunk off rip. It's got the 88 mid-range with the 89 3-pointer. You could eventually just, you know, specialize in shooting and +2 your mid-range. Just, I don't know, just to do it. You don't get any badges though for it, unfortunately. And that's why I feel like these aren't really optimized for long-term play. I think you guys are going to see 7-4s fall off a little bit as the year goes on. But right now they're dominating. Absolutely. So you have like the 76 pass ac, you know, the silver break starter. I gave a silver versatile visionary as well, just because it's that close and we had nothing else to spend it on. If you're looking for me to upgrade steel, just keep in mind you can't actually get bronze interceptor on a 7-4, so it's not even possible if you went max wing. I don't even believe, for that matter. So yeah, I mean, You get the silver brick wall, you get decent speed for being this tall because you're very low on the weight, and you still get the 70 vert, you still get the, you know, elite big man contact dunks, you got like 87 post control for things like post up poet. Unfortunately, you would get post powerhouse at like, you know, the post control that we have on gold. However, if you wanted to go higher on the weight, I guess I can't knock you for it. It's just like, man, you're gonna see you lose a lot of speed already as is. To be fair though, I think this is a respectable thing to do if you really wanted to. Like, I'm just gonna like choose some random attributes to drop just to fine tune things a little bit. But yeah, I don't know, this kind of depends on what you want, you know. It's not necessarily something I'd do to try and get post powerhouse, but if you want to be a post scoring stretch big, it's definitely something to keep in mind. If you wanted to drop your speed by like literally 2, it's not that big a deal probably. It's actually 1 speed for that matter. So feel free to do that if you'd like. I just want to show you guys this build just to optimize it the most. But hey, I mean, to be fair, that's a pretty valuable thing to do. I don't know, get post powerhouse. It's definitely a decent play. So don't think it's like a super corny thing or anything like that. If you wanted to try that out, feel free to. I'm sure the cap breakers will be very similar on the builds. But yeah, just wanted to show you essentially a couple options with this. But I will say though, there's not a lot, we already mentioned this, there's not a lot to actually put on these builds at the 7.4 for the cap breakers. So we're going to show you the triple double threat right here. A crazy build name too, it's actually kind of fire. But we're going to show you that real quick in terms of the optimization of cap breakers. And then we'll just go ahead and like kind of, it's not going to be that much of an explanation though, to be real with you guys. It's literally just going to be like, oh, put the plus, you know, change all these attributes so that you can get more attributes in the builder, because inherently you're able to drop a couple more things off the fact that you dropped your mid-range and then you dropped your standing dunk as well. So like then you could just spend the cap break points into these to get them back or something like that, right? But I don't know. Overall, it didn't really buy a whole lot into the build back. So I'm just not really a fan of these builds as is. Also, my apologies. I don't know why in the world I wouldn't have done this, but Bam floater on the 76 driving lay, absolutely worth going for. I must have just been thinking Sabonis floater with the 78 because I've been using it so much. Definitely worth doing. So I'm gonna just go ahead and drop the free throw a little bit and just put it straight into that one driving layup, because I don't think that's worth putting a cap break point on, because it's obviously not gonna be great value. So just wanted to make that quick edit on the build, and we'll go ahead and create the new version right here, and you guys can kind of, you know, see the classic. I've heard these same text lines probably like 200 times by now, probably, because I'm always looking for the optimization on the cap breakers and stuff. But anyway, as you can see now, there we go, 76 driving lay, you get the Bam floater off rip, the 70 driving dunk, you know, decent. Cap break your standing dunk, cap break your mid-range. It's not a whole lot much more to do on the build, to be real with you. You could get like 92 pass sack if you'd like as well. I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's not a whole lot to do, bro. It's about as simple as that. I don't think there's a whole lot of optimization in the 7.4s. It's just like there's not a ton of ratings that are super good value. I guess your close shot could technically go to like 92 as well with 5 cap breaks, which is solid. I mean, you get a +2, +2, +2, then +1, +1. So you could get to 90, you could get 92, whatever you'd like with that. And then again, 90 standing dunk if you really wanted to play for, I don't know, like on a build like this for a long time. I will say though, man, if you compare a build like this to the footer, I get it's gimmicky and it's like hard to guard and stuff like that, but it doesn't fit into as many game modes and as many lineups if you ask me. It's just a gimmicky build that like is hard to contest on the shooting, and if you are someone that wants to be a stretch big, understandable. You can absolutely dominate a game with a build like this, and it's hard, bro. It's hard to contest those builds, especially if you have a build that's not optimized for guarding one. If you don't have elite perimeter defense, block, jump contests, all types of stuff like that, you'll get dominated by these and just feel like there's nothing you can do to stop it. So I'm not here to call it a bad build by any means. It's why it's on the list. You know, it's why it's the top 3 center build if you ask me. But it definitely will die out a little bit later in the year just off the fact that there's not a lot of good ways to spend the cap breakers. There's no cheese, if you get what I'm saying. Like, so I don't know. The stretch big itself, just a bit of a tough look. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and delete one of these just so I can go back to looking at the builds now. But yeah, what I'm gonna show you now is our honorable mentions. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all that good stuff, I really would appreciate it. And if you made it this far and you want to show your support that you did, put Laker in the comments or put center in the comments. Show your support all the way through. Now, last I want to show you the board hunting high flyer. Now, this is my 6'10" point center, but optimized in a bit of a different way so that you can get the shooting initially straight out the gate. Now, I made this to be able to be played on day one. However, I would recommend maybe go a little bit differently on the cap breaks, just a tad bit. So like For instance, I was going to say cap break your driving dunk +3 or +5. You would get it to 93 eventually. I needed to get it to at least 88. I had it at 87 initially, but getting it to 88 was the real important thing because it would eventually allow you to get 93, which give you the gold posterizer, and you know, just in tandem with that 80 vertical is nice to have. Now, more so, I really wanted to stress the point of I don't think the standing dunk meter is that great. It's the type of thing I would shave off the build if I were to remake it with shooting off rip. I'm going to show you guys in a video tomorrow my actual new recreated build where I just took the 3-pointer, put it to like 50 something, and cap break those points on instead. This is for you guys if you really wanted to on day one have a shooting version of my build, then progress into it in terms of the dribbling capabilities and stuff like that. So understand, I'm giving you at least some options here, and if you want to see the other one, feel free to just watch it tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, we got the high flying denier on silver. That's actually an upgrade as opposed to my build where I just have the 74 block. On this one, I went definitely higher defensive rebound than O-board, just because as an outside center or a popper in a way, you're not going to be hanging around the offensive rebounds quite as much. But yeah, the pass accuracy the same as my build. The ball handling speed with ball will eventually get up to 75 and 68 to get that bronze lightning launch, and then you can like +2 it to gold for that gold lightning launch. It's a fun build, 100%. And you can also run Sabonis floater is the thing I've been running. You could run Bam floater as well on this. It's kind of a means of your mid-range essentially in this way where you don't really need the mid on the build. And that's why mine is really cheese that I recreated, because I have something more along the lines of like this in terms of the mid-range where it's like 45 and then I cap break the rest of the points on. And as you can see, I mean, if we were to do something like that, I'm a 96 overall right now. That's a lot of points saved on cap breakers, you know? But again, I wanted to show this just for those of you who wanted to make the shooting version of the build on day one so you can at least play on it and not have to deal with being a pure inside big like I was. Because I think I'm great at that, obviously, but not everybody really prefers that. So it's a bit of a struggle for some. Now, like I told y'all, I would probably try, if you have one cap breaker, to just put that on your driving dunk early. I think that's the most important thing. After that, I would probably focus on the ball handle speed with ball. Anyway, let's go ahead and just get into this. I'll go ahead and just cap break this exact version just so we can, it's the last build. We might as well just do it straight from the builder right here. So I'll just make a cut. All right, so 610 right here. So we have the speed with ball. You do 2 caps on this and you get to 68. I don't think the last one's worth it all. It's 69 speed with ball, and that's pointless. I mean, you get the badge at 68 and 1 rating is not worth a cap breaker, obviously. So then we found this exact rating. I was trying it with even lower ball handle, higher ball handle. This exact rating was the one that worked, where you're able to get 54 ball handle all the way up to 75, which is very important in my opinion. And not to mention, if you get the 4 cap breaks, 71 is still good as well. You get bronze handles for days. You get like the pro SIGs and stuff like that at 70. So very good off just, I would say, 6 cap breakers, and then probably 7 if we're being completely technical off that driving dunk. So it's not exactly a perfect day one build either, because it doesn't have the exact optimization of like how I would play, but it's what we had to do to get the best out of it. If you want to go even lower on, let's say, like offensive rebound or something like that, you want to make something shake with the O board, the block could go down to 74 maybe or something like that, get the 89 dunk instead, so that you could just play on it on day one with like the pro contacts off 1 and pro contacts off 2. Feel free to. You still got the off 2 right now, so like this is okay. It's just, yeah, it's a lot of cap breaks obviously to be mentioned in terms of like, you know, a day one build is what I'm calling it. So by the point that you actually have all the cap breakers to do something like this, I think you'd be better off making my build. It's just, again, if you want to be able to shoot instantly instead of, you know, having to wait for all the cap breakers, this is the way to do it to still be able to play somewhat like me. So anyway, just wanted to at least show this. But yeah, I think the smart way to do that would definitely be to just maybe go a little bit lower on one of the rebounds or something like that, or the block. But anyway, that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub, if you're new, turn on noties, all that good stuff. Like always, try this 1 to 1,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put big or Laker, like I said earlier, or actually if you made it to the end, put slasher in the comment search bars midway through. Why not? I mean, it's the big man video, but let's put on for the 610 a little bit. So I'll show you guys that tomorrow, the 610 point center that's re-optimized for the cap breakers that I have of like 6 or 7. And bro, I played around long-term cap breakers on that build too. That thing is about to be so future-proof, it's insane. I think it's going to be a nasty build. And fellas, let me show you my shooting percent real quick. This is what I've been shooting just off the games that I've played so far. 70% from 3, and I've been on bronze set shot specialist and stuff like that on that 78 three-pointer, except, you know, obviously I like created the build and had to cap break it all the way up. That's why I had bronze, you know, set shot. But yeah, I mean, this is my first, they're my first reps of shooting in the game, period. And early on 2s, especially 3s, it got a little harder. I went to Proving Grounds as well, which had harder difficulty of shooting on top of that. So it definitely dropped my percentage a little bit compared to playing in the park. But yeah, on 2s early, I was shooting like 90% from 3. It was insane, bro. Anyway, that's all for video. I just wanted to show you guys that, and definitely stay tuned for tomorrow if you want to see the point center. But that's all. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.